Have you ever really stopped to wonder what happens when you send an email? I mean, it feels like magic, right? You click send and poof, it's gone. But behind that one simple click is this incredible high-speed journey across the entire internet. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain and trace that journey, demystifying one of the oldest and honestly most important tools of our digital world.
Okay, so picture this. You've just typed out the perfect message. Maybe you attached a file and you hit that send button. It just vanishes from your screen, and a few moments later, boom, it arrives in someone else's inbox. But what in the world is happening in those few milliseconds? Well, it's not magic. It's a fascinating, perfectly choreographed dance between servers and protocols. Let's break down exactly how it all works.
Before we follow that email on its path, let's just zoom out for a second. We use email every single day, but its role in our lives has gotten so much bigger than just sending messages. It's really become the foundation for almost everything else we do online.
At its heart, the definition is just beautifully simple, isn't it? A way to exchange messages using electronic devices. It was one of the very first killer apps for the internet, and what's amazing is that after all these decades of new tech, it's still absolutely fundamental.
Think about it. Email is so much more than just messaging. It's our digital filing cabinet, right? It's where we keep receipts, contracts, all those important conversations. But even more important, your email address has become your digital passport. It's the universal key that unlocks pretty much every other online service you use. All right, now for the main event. Let's actually trace the path of one single email from your outbox all the way to a friend's inbox. What's funny is that the logic is surprisingly similar to old-school mail. It's just moving at the speed of light.
So here's the whole journey in a nutshell. The moment you hit send, your email app hands the message off to your outgoing mail server. Think of that as your local post office. That server then looks up the destination in the internet's giant address book, finds the recipient's mail server, and sends your message zipping across the network. The recipient's server then holds onto that email until their app is ready to pick it up. Now let's meet the technologies that make this all happen.
First up is SMTP. That stands for Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. This is the mail carrier of the internet. Its one and only job is to push your email from your device to your server and then from that server over to the recipient's server. It only handles the sending part.
So, how does that mail carrier know where to go? That's where these next pieces come in. Your mail server is your digital post office. To find the destination, it uses something called the DNS, the Domain Name System, which is basically the internet's giant phone book. It looks for a very specific entry, called an MX record, that points to the exact address of the mail server for the person you're trying to email.
Okay, now let's talk about how you get your mail. There are really two main ways. The older way, POP3, is kind of like home delivery. The email gets downloaded to one device and then it's usually deleted from the server. But the more modern method, IMAP, is like having a post office box. The email stays on the server so you can check it from any device, your phone, your laptop, whatever, and everything stays perfectly in sync. That's why an email you read on your phone also shows up as read on your computer.
So now that we understand the how, let's talk about the what, the different kinds of email services you can actually use. The biggest split here is between free and paid options, and believe me, they each come with their own set of trade-offs.
This chart breaks it down pretty clearly. Free services are fantastic for personal use. We all use them. But you're using their domain, like @gmail.com, and you often have limits on storage and support. With a paid service, the biggest, most powerful advantage is getting a custom domain. It just adds this huge layer of professionalism. And on top of that, you usually get way more storage, better security, and actual dedicated support when things go wrong.
And that whole custom domain thing leads us to a much more strategic idea. See, beyond just the features, your email address is a huge reflection of your digital identity. Are you just communicating as you, the individual, or as a representative of a brand?
A personal email is perfect for casual stuff, right? Chatting with friends and family, but a business email with a custom domain name that immediately signals trust and legitimacy to your clients. It also gives a company central control over all its accounts, which is just absolutely essential for security and for scaling up as you grow.
So really, it all boils down to this. Your email address is part of your brand. A free email address is totally fine for your personal life, but that custom domain is a small investment that can give your business's credibility a massive boost.
So, with all that in mind, where should you actually set up your email? Let's run through a few of the top options that are out there for different kinds of needs.
For everyday personal use, the free options are really hard to beat. Gmail is obviously the dominant player, mostly because of its seamless integration with everything Google. If you live and breathe Microsoft Office, then Outlook is going to feel like a natural fit. And hey, let's not forget Yahoo Mail, one of the originals that still offers a ton of storage.
Now, when it comes to business, Google Workspace and Microsoft 365 are the two titans of the industry. They offer those familiar interfaces we all know, Gmail and Outlook, but they add all the crucial business features on top, like admin controls, better security, and of course, the ability to use your own custom domain to build that professional brand.
But what if your top priority isn't fancy integrations, but privacy? Well, services like Proton Mail and Tutanota, which are based in countries with really strong privacy laws, are built from the ground up for security. They offer end-to-end encryption, which means literally no one can read your emails except you and your recipient. This is essential for people like journalists, activists, or anyone who handles sensitive client info where confidentiality is everything.
You know, when you really stop and think about it, your email address is so much more than just a tool. It's this digital thread that runs through your entire online life. It's how you sign up for services, how you apply for jobs, how you stay connected. It really is a cornerstone of your digital identity.
So as we wrap up, I'll just leave you with this thought. Social media platforms, trends, they come and go. But email has proven to be this incredible constant in our digital lives. Choosing a provider isn't just a technical decision for today, it's a reflection of the digital identity you're building for the future. What will your email address represent?